Okay, so thank you for joining me. This is the algorithm proof social media and implementation session. So we're going to talk about social media and we're going to get as much done today as we possibly can. We might not get a whole year in. I feel like it takes a day to get a whole year done, but we're going to do as much as we can. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be getting the plan done and then doing a couple of weeks. However fast you're going to work is however fast you're going to work. So don't stress about it, but we want to get something done today so that you're moving forward and you can say, into January, even February, March, etc., that you have stuff planned and moving forward. I even believe too that when we work on this, we're actually going to work on certain pieces that can be repeated through the whole year. So some days or some weeks you could have a full year done, but you might not have every single day for every single, for the whole year done. So don't stress about that, but we are going to try and get as much done as we can. The first part is just going to be a little bit of an overview, and we're going to go through what algorithm proof social media is and how you can use it in your business, and then we're going to move into the implementation part of it. So I'm Elizabeth, and I do a lot of different things. This is my 20th year in business, and I am very, very happy about that. And I am well, not 20th year in business, but 20th year, like, I guess, doing business, right? Like doing marketing, doing websites. And so we're coming up to our 21st year and my 13th year as a business owner. 14th year? 14. After you get past 10, it's just like a blur. So I love doing what I do, and I love helping people with marketing because it's not as hard as it seems like it is. So we're going to just make it easy, make it simple. I also have a podcast, Absolute Marketing Podcast. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a 2-minute podcast. We are up to almost 2,000 downloads, actually almost 3,000 downloads right now. And we have a lot of followers on there. So yes, absolutely. All right. So let me see one thing here. Someone's asking me a question. They can't seem to get in. And just make sure that they can get in. Okay. So a lot of people don't like social media because they feel like it's a waste of time, and it really isn't. It's a necessary evil in some cases, and so we're going to make it a lot simpler. And there's a lot of people that use social media, so we want to capture at least some of that if we can, and knowing that we're not going to be able to, beat the algorithms. That's not why we're here. We're not here to game the algorithms. We are here to just get our message out there and allow that to move forward rather than worrying about, all the other things that Facebook tells you can do and all this other stuff and Instagram. We want to just make sure that we're doing our part, and then we're not worried about the algorithms because they're going to give you all kinds of stuff where they're going to say, oh, we're only showing this to this many people. You need to boost this post. And that's not what we're here. That's not what we're about. So we're going to try and kind of go around that a little bit and just worry about our message. I know a lot of you guys have already done your target market. Oh, hi, Jenny. You made it. Got it.
I did. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I'm just going to mute everybody just so that we have this, so it's quiet. And then if you have a question, you can either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. So I know a lot of you have already done your target markets. And if you want to put in the chat or just nod so I know that you already have that part and we can kind of skip this part. So target markets would be the person that you're trying to reach, that you're trying to sell to. It doesn't have to be, like one specific person. It could be a group. It could be maybe 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 types of people. Has everybody kind of done that part? Know who we're marketing to? Okay, awesome. Great. So I'm going to skip this part of this and we're going to get right into the social media portion. So the number one reason that we use social media, and this is my firm belief, is to drive traffic to the website. How many people have a website? Got a website? Yes, yes. Okay. Even if you don't think it's great, you should at least have Jenny, we need to talk. No, I was kidding. um, but if you don't think it's great, then that's okay because we actually want to just drive traffic to it because that's where your pretty much your message is anyway, like where people are going to buy, even if it's just to the contact page. Getting someone to contact you is usually the hardest part, I feel like, because if you can convince someone to say, let's have a call, let's have an email, let's interact, you can sell them after that, right? Like you can do that. Once you get them on the phone, once you get them on email, once you're actually talking to them, get them on a Zoom call, whatever, you can actually probably sell them or realize they're not your customer and be like, okay, whatever, no big deal, right? So we want to use social media to make that call, make that sale, whatever that thing is that's next for them. We want to make that happen through social media. So we want to use our posts to drive traffic. Do we want to sell 100% of the time? No, but we can still sell without selling 100% of the time. And I think we forget to sell on social media. And this is where people get in trouble. They're like posting lolcat memes and they're posting all kinds of stuff that's not their business related. And then they forget, well, why am I not getting it? Or they're asking, like, why am I not getting sales? And they forget to actually sell something. So we're going to sell, I'm going to show you how to sell without selling on Facebook and social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you're using, because we just need to remember that we have a product, we have a service, and it's probably listed on our website. If not, it should be. And when we take someone on that journey, they've seen a post, now they go, to your website. Where are they landing? What are they looking at? What are they reading? What's going to get them from post to action, right? Seeing a post, clicking on a link, going to your website, and now they're taking an action that's going to be beneficial to you. So, and to them, because obviously they need help with whatever it is. So we want to make sure we have something on our websites that we can drive them to. You want to have multiples of those things, right? It doesn't just need to be one specific thing on your site. And this is where marketing gets very confusing and complicated for people because they try to, okay, she told me that drive traffic to my website. Okay, my website's not really great. Let me stop this right now. Let me move over to my website. Let me try to fix that. And I think that's where we get stuck a little bit. So I think whatever you have on your site right now, write something down that you're like, that's a pretty good page. That's a pretty good section. Or, yeah, I got a contact page. That is where I am. I have a contact page and it works. It will send me an email. Or I have a link to book a call with me. That is what is working right now. That is the piece we need to focus on for today. And then later we can go back and fix the website. And then if you want, you can add more posts and change your links or whatever, because you'll have all your social media done. Changing the link, won't be a big deal, right? So what we'll do is we'll just find that one thing that is working on the site that is a good piece where, like, this is what I want to promote, whether it's a call, book a call, contact form, a specific page that has like services, maybe a specific service page, maybe it's just one service on a page, or maybe it's just your podcast. If you have a podcast, or if you have a blog, or if you have a press page where you have all of your press, or maybe it's a portfolio, like whatever it is that you have on your site that's like a good solid piece that would help someone to make a decision, or that you could use to kind of sell in a way. Because like the podcast, I used to sell, but I don't talk about, selling. I don't sell on the podcast. But because I have one, people see it as an authority builder. And then they're like, oh, well, she must know what she's doing. She has a podcast. I don't really, but people think that. So, that's the kind of thing that builds the credibility. So I'm not using the podcast to sell, but I am, right? And it's on my website. And so now I can use posts to refer back to that. And there's a really easy way to do that we'll talk about in a minute. But I can use posts to refer to that. And now they're going to my website. And now I'm getting those hits on my site. And now my site is rising in search rankings. So you see how it's all connected, but really we're just starting with social media. We're just starting right here, this little bubble. Let's get this bubble fixed, and then we'll move to the next one, and then we'll move to the next one. And then it'll all kind of filter in together, and it'll make this like great cycle that you can utilize. Your brand, your website, your social, your email marketing, your blogging, all of it will run together. And then SEO is kind of like around the whole thing. your search engine optimization. Because once all those pieces are all running, then your SEO is going to improve. So we want to drive traffic to your website. So keep that in mind as you're writing posts. Not every post will do this, but a majority of them should. All right. Then we just talked about that. All right, so we're going to use social media for what we are already good at and what we already know that we're already doing. Okay, so this means if you're doing stuff in your business every day or every week or every month even, you're speaking, you're podcasting, you're guest podcasting, you are working with clients, you are having calls, you're going to networking meetings, you are insert random thing here, right? The things you're doing, people want to know about. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel to add all these things in. You already are doing so much in your business, even if it's just, hey, I made these great graphics on Canva today, and that was your day. And that was like your task for the day. People want to know about that stuff, right? And they want to know that you're moving forward so that if they jump on board with you, they feel like they're moving forward as well. And so sometimes people will post like pictures of their animals, their dogs or cats, whatever, and they'll say, so and so is helping out today, and like the cat's like laying on the floor doing nothing, while I do this thing, right? I know it may seem a little trivial or almost like trite, like, oh yeah, okay, that's just like everybody posts that. You can do similar things, but about your stuff. And these posts can be of the moment. They can be pictures that you have from last year. No one knows, trust me, unless you totally change your hair color and like cut it all off or something. Like I have a picture of my dog from last year. He's wearing a Christmas scarf. He looks exactly the same. And I've used that like, it's a Christmas scarf, like it's Christmas and he's helping me, whatever. Like, and it's just from last year. It's the most adorable picture, but nobody knows, right? And I probably posted it last year. They were like, oh, look, he's wearing the Christmas scarf again. No, it's the same picture. So those kind of things people don't remember from year to year. People don't remember from week to week, honestly, especially when you post on social media. The other thing is they're not going to see all of this. 1% to 2% of people that when you post on Facebook specifically, only 1% to 2% of your entire audience sees your Facebook post. Ugh. That's like, if you have 100 people, that's 2 people, maybe 1.5. So that you are trying to reach an audience, and that is why this consistency. So if 1 to 2 people a day see your post, you're golden, right? But if 1 to 2 people a week or a month see your post because you're not posting regularly, then what's it doing for you? It's doing nothing. So that's why, sorry, the allergies are really bad today. That is why we will try and get you consistent, posting every single day or every other day at the very least, to actually get you those views, because they're not actually showing all of your stuff all the time. All right. But we can use things that we're already doing to actually promote, push out there. We don't have to reinvent everything all the time. So how many social media platforms should you be using? I believe that there are 5 pillars of network or of marketing, right? There's branding, website, social, email, marketing, and blogging. Those are your 5 pillars of your main like online marketing. And when you utilize those 5 pillars, and now we're kind of adding a few more, there's networking, which has always been there. It's been one of my big ones as well. And not everyone can do that or wants to do that. So I kind of leave it as like an optional pillar. You can have an optional 6, like a 6 cents. And then you have another optional pillar, which is podcasting. I know that there's another optional pillar, which is technically video, but I kind of lump that in with social media. And then if you do memberships or webinars and things like that, I feel like those are more optional pieces because not everybody needs them. The 5, branding, website, social, blogging, and email marketing, everybody should do that. That's just like universal. Everyone should do those. And I believe the 5 are like your main core. And so when it comes to doing all 5 of those things, that's a lot of work, right? It's a lot on your plate. We try to get it all done in like 5 days and be done with it. And we can do that. But you still have all of those, like each of those has their own little grouping of, stuff that has to be like, done to it, right? So with social media, you're now adding more stuff, right? So it's one piece of 5. And now you're saying, well, how many social media should I be on? I only think you should be on 2 to 3 at the most. You don't need to be every single place. And the reason I say this is because your people are not every single place. They are not everyone is on Instagram. I've been on Instagram for years. I never use it. And my executive assistant this month, she was like, we have to get you on Instagram. I was like, no, I don't want to be on Instagram. And she's like, no, you need to be on Instagram. So I looked at the demographics, okay, and I hadn't done this in a while. I had looked at them a while ago, and I really didn't pay attention. So now demographics have shifted some, and so now they're more within the group that I need to be targeting, right? So I'm on Instagram. Not really there, like I'm like getting my brain there, but I'm working on it. So that's one of my 3. My other one is Facebook, which I do still use. I don't use it as heavily as I used to, but I just do still use it. And then the third one is LinkedIn. I do not use Twitter. It is not as profitable for me right now, so I just don't put the effort into it. And the new stuff, TikTok is not profitable, would not be profitable for me. I'm not using that. And also like new stuff like Parler, more political driven sites, things like that. I'm not using those either. So I'm trying to focus on where my people are. And I have this handy dandy little chart for you. This is in an ebook that I wrote a while back, and I've updated this a little bit, but these are still pretty much the main numbers. On Facebook, more women than men, older millennials, Gen X, and boomers. Those are kind of that's my sweet spot. That's why I'm on Facebook mostly. 75% of users spend 20 minutes a day or more on Facebook. That's crazy. It's a crazy amount of time. And your post, though, your post only lives for 30 minutes. So 1 to 2% of people are seeing your post, and it's only living for 30 minutes. So this is where it comes to where people go, but it's not right. I can't post it until it's right. I have to rewrite it again. I have to change the photo out. I have to make this beautiful Canva graphic. That is all well and good. I believe in those things 100%. But when your post only lives 30 minutes, how much time are we spending on it? How much time are we putting into it? And the fact that only 1 to 2% of people are seeing it. So we want to create things that are repeatable so that when we put time and effort into something, we're getting 8 to 10 uses out of it, if not more. We want to create something that is quick for us, and we want to create something that's impactful. When people see it, they're like, yes, I need that. Yes, let's talk about that. But they also don't notice that it's repeatable. So YouTube, more men than women. I think it's crazy that it does reach more 18 to 49-year-olds than cable, but because it's become like everyone's go-to, that makes sense. And the post life, the half-life of the post, it lasts 6 days in their feeds. That's really interesting. So if you're using video, if you're creating videos, having something that lasts for 6 days is going to be very beneficial. And it's going to let people have almost an entire week so that they can actually have the chance of seeing your post. I don't know what their percentages are as far as who, in their algorithm or whatever, but I'm sure you can look that up. It's probably on Google somewhere. But anyway, 6 days is a long time. So if you are looking at doing video, this is going to give you a little bit more traction. And also, if you're tagging your posts about, similar to other posts, you're going to see those come up in the side, and people usually click on those. I actually have been watching a lot of stuff on minimalism. And so with minimalism, you've got these 1 or 2, 3 people that I follow, and I'll watch their video, and then on the side, there's like 4 other videos from different people that I've never heard of. And then I might watch their videos and so on and so on. And then you're down the rabbit hole. So that's what we want our viewers to do. Go to the rabbit hole. Instagram. This is still pretty accurate. I would say that's probably dropped to about 60% of users are under the age of 35. And then a half-life of a post is still about 20 hours. And that means, again, Facebook owns this. So you're getting very little reach. You might get a little more reach than Facebook, but not as, maybe 5%. It's very low. And then you've got, half-life is about 20 hours. It's a lot longer than 30 minutes, but still, it's not, it's like less than a day. So not super great. Twitter, mostly men. 50% of users never even post. They just have accounts and retweet. And then, see, sorry, this thing keeps going on here. Oh, let me go back. Go away, little thing. Oh, there, we almost went away. The half-life of a post is 24 minutes for Twitter. I know you can't see it, it's underneath. There it is. 21 minutes, I'm sorry, 21 minutes. So very, very short time lifespan. And they only spend 2 minutes a day-ish on Twitter, like scroll, 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 nothing new, scroll, scroll, scroll. So it's very like a quick platform. If you're in any kind of political space, if you're in any kind of, fast moving, I guess, industry where things are like moving really quickly all the time, like a news type industry or federal industry or anything like that. Those types of groups have a better platform with that. It's just there's more of those types of people on it. And so you have more colleagues and more users, consumers on it like that. But then as far as Twitter goes for like services, businesses, and people who are doing, who are really trying to reach women as their main target audience, Twitter's not going to be as helpful. Go to the last one here. All right, Pinterest, majority women, huge age range. Everybody uses Twitter. I use it for looking up different, home products, clothing, outfit ideas, Halloween stuff, all that kind of like holiday stuff. So I use it for a lot of different things, but I'm on it sporadically, right? So that's me personally, specifically. The half-life of their posts, though, if you have something that a woman in this age range could use, business, non-business, in business or not, but it's something that anyone in the world could use, right? Like a checklist, an ebook, a blog post where you like explain stuff. Their posts last 3.5 months. It's 151,000 hours in the feeds. This is massive. Massive. When could you possibly live in a feed for 3.5 months? And the reason it does this is because it gets repinned so many times that it just keeps living in feeds for certain keywords. Putting up a Pinterest post is pretty easy. I use my schedulers, which we're going to talk about, and I have my feed of like blogs and things like that feed into Pinterest. So they go right into Pinterest, they go into a board, and then they actually show up in the Pinterest feed somewhere, Pinterest world, and then they get reshared and repinned from there. So I really don't do a lot like hands-on with it, but it does kind of auto feed. And then LinkedIn, women and men evenly, 50% of users are making over $75,000 a year. And users are less likely to use other platforms because they're actually using it for work, right? So it's like, I've been on LinkedIn all day. I do not want to go home and be on Facebook now. Like, go home and be on Instagram. So they're basically using it for work. They're using it all day in most cases, or it's open all day. They're going back and forth. They're messaging, etc. And then they're not going to use it, they're not going to use other platforms. They also use it during the weekends, which I thought was interesting. A lot of people are on during the weekend because a lot of people are weekend warriors. They will, have their job during the week, and then on the weekends they'll use the LinkedIn for their, personal, professional, endeavors, things that they're doing like side hustles and stuff. And then their posts last about 24 hours. This has gone down to 20 because there are so many posts now. But it is a generally clean platform. It's mostly business. So people don't abuse it too much, but you will see some things occasionally that you're just like, what? Why is this here? But there's less ads because they're so expensive. So there's less ads than Facebook, and you actually see more content, like real content, than you would on Facebook if you're like doing an initial scroll. So, all right. Let me actually see if I can make this a little bigger. There we go. Now we can see everything. Now let's talk about what the heck you're going to post. Because this is the hard part I think everybody gets stuck at. So we know where we're going to post, right? We know we don't need to spend too much time on the actual posts, individual posts by themselves. So what the heck are we going to post? Things we do on a daily basis, what I mentioned before. Things that you love to do in your business. If you love payroll, talk about payroll. If you love doing the creative stuff, do a screenshot and say, hey, look, this is what I made today. If you love working with a client, if you love networking, if you love like whatever that is, if you love researching, if you love reading, I have a stack of business books right there. And I read those and I like those. And sometimes I'll post a picture of like, hey, I'm reading this right now. What are you reading? What do customers love that you do? Are you really good at like, sending them random encouragement? Are you really good at finding things and sharing it with them that they're in need of? Like, what is it that they love that you do? Are you just good at listening to them? And you can just do a screenshot of a Zoom call and ask for permission. Can I post this as a picture? Sure. Okay, great. And now you post it and say, hey, my customers love when I listen to them. I mean, that's if you've heard that in a testimonial, if you've heard that in a phone call with someone, if you've heard that, seen that in a text or a message or an email or whatever, tell people that. You can brag on yourself like a little. Don't have to always be like, I'm the worst. Like you can brag a little bit and say, well, my customer said this. My customers love this. I didn't, it's not me saying it. And then your most frequently asked questions. I've actually taken people's FAQ page and made it into individual posts. And then linked back to the FAQ page. Because each question is a post, right? But then there's all the other questions that person didn't see because they only saw the one question. So if you have an FAQ page, then you can use all those as posts. If you don't have an FAQ page, take this opportunity to create the questions for your posts and then just put them all on a page on your website. Super easy. Make a dual work out of that. Make it something you can use twice. Questions? Anything questions so far? Okay. The other stuff is easy stuff. You can fill a calendar pretty quickly, or at least a lot of your days. Holidays, Christmas, Mother's Day, Taco Day, Redhead Day, special occasions like their work anniversary. If you go on LinkedIn, they'll tell you exactly when you started your company. And you can put that in there. Known events, if you're doing a fundraiser, trade show, annual events that you do every year. And then you can go down to the micro section and you're looking at days of the week. Is it Tech Tuesday? Is it Flower Friday? Is it, whatever you want to make that day about? When I worked with a wedding planner, she had, she had Flower Friday, where we would post a different picture of a flower every week on Friday. And it was a flower that was blooming in that month. So all of April's flowers bloomed in April, so that if the bride saw it, she could see, easily, readily get that flower in that month, right, for her wedding or whatever. Most brides plan a year ahead, so when they start looking, that was something she was kind of helping promote. Obviously, you can get pretty much any flower anytime right now because of, global greenhouses and stuff. But this was something where it was just like, hey, this is a quick and easy post. She doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't have to really look for it. She just did a little research. What flowers bloom in what months? Put a picture of them each. And some flowers bloom twice or three times a year, like different, times of year. And so she would just kind of put those in. Some of them would be the same. And then we also did for her Date Night Monday. I know it's not a, MM or anything like that, but we did Date Night Monday because Monday's the hardest day of the week usually. Everyone's exhausted. Nobody wants to do anything. Like Monday night's just like, oh, we're done. Good, thank goodness. And I think, we were talking about it. I was saying, what's one of the biggest problems your couples have when they come to you? And she's like, they're tired, they're exhausted, and they feel like this wedding is taking over their lives. And it was her job to help them not feel that way, right? But she was like, you know what they're not doing? They stopped dating. Even if they've been engaged for a long time, they stopped dating. And why did they stop dating? They're tired, they have too much to do, and now the wedding is taking over their lives. And so she's like, we should do date night, like Monday date night. We're going to plan it for you. We're going to tell you exactly what to do. And you don't have to think about it. You just, on Monday, you see that post, date night idea. You could do it on Monday, or you could say, this Friday, this is what we're doing. It's already planned. It's already done. We already know exactly what we're doing. We just do it. And then they don't have to think about it, but it provides them that opportunity. We came up with 52 date ideas. Do you know how many date ideas there are on the internet? There's like a million. So we found 52 that she liked, and every Monday we just posted one. That was it. That was it. So something as simple as that, something that you're like, well, duh, you could just look it up yourself. No, we have to provide that for them. Maybe it's 52 stretches you can do from your chair. Maybe it's 52 things you should never put in your mouth. Beth, I'm looking at you. Don't put these things in your mouth. Don't eat them. And it could be 27 things, don't put these things in your mouth, and just repeat them because people don't pay attention. So you can do that with 27 things and repeat. You can do it with 52 things if you're just like, yeah, I really want something different every single week. Same thing with like Tech Tuesday, Tip Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday, Reading Wednesday, Book Club Thursday. You make up whatever day you want, whatever day you think would be good for your business and your people would appreciate. That they're like, I don't have time to do that. I am too busy to think about that. I am overwhelmed and I can't even pay attention to doing that. Those things are what you need to provide in these posts, because then people see them and they're like, yes, like this person understands me. This person knows what I need, and they're providing it to me without me having to not ask for it, but to dig for it, right? I don't have to do the research. I don't have to do, you did it and you found it for me and you provided it to me. Okay. So let me see what my next slide is because I don't remember. Okay. There's another piece to this research part, another type of post that you can do. And I don't have it in these slides, but I do it a lot. And it is the challenge post. You can create a 5-week challenge, a 5-day challenge, a 3-day, 3-week challenge, whatever you want, right? 30-day challenge, however crazy you want to get with it. I have a 5-week challenge on my post. They're going to be coming out for 2021. It starts on Monday, by the way. So if you check your local social media, you'll see it. And it's going to be each week for 5 weeks. It's going to ask you to do something with your brand, something with your website, something with your social media, something with your email marketing, and something with your blogging. Okay. I'm using my system to create a 5-week challenge around that. It is not this, what we're talking about. It is not me going into all this, right? We've been sitting here for like 30 minutes. Like, this is like intense. This is me training you guys, teaching you guys, trying to get you to do this stuff because this is going to be so helpful. But I'm not giving them all this information. I'm giving them like a challenge. So like, say for my social media, I don't remember what I put in there, so don't quote me on this, but I might tell them, hey, a wedding planner did Flower Friday. What can you do each week that you can provide to your clients? Like that's it. We just went through like 10 minutes about all that and how you do it and like who, what you could do and ideas. And I'm giving them like a one-liner that's like, here's a little nugget and I'm challenging you to do it. And you can take stuff that you do that your clients, this is the other thing. And I'm not trying to give away the trade secrets, but really, we all understand this. We know our clients aren't going to do all this stuff, right? Even if we challenge them to do it. But what we want to do is challenge the way they think about it and the way that they react to being asked to do something different. So if we say, here's a 5-day challenge or a 5-week challenge, we're breaking it in to these tiny, 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 little teeny pieces. So when they actually look at it, they're like, well, I can do that. It's like those push-up challenges where they're like, day 1, you do 1 push-up. And you're like, sure. And then day 2, you do 2 push-ups. Like, of course. Then by day 15, you're doing 15 push-ups and you don't even realize it because you've built up the ability to do that. But that's what we're trying to do with these challenges. We're giving them 4, 5, 3, 7, 30 is a bit much, but you're giving them something that's so tiny to do for each of the days or weeks, and then you're repeating it. Because the people that see it in January do not see it in July or June or October. Some of the people might see it, but some of them might not. And most of them are going to be new, right? So I can tell you right now, I have known Nancy the longest, a couple years. Beth, I've only known you for 6 months, 8 months. And Jenny, you're like totally new. You're new to me. Like I'm like, this is great. Jenny's here. This is great. I'll get to know her. So my point is, Nancy's seen all of this stuff before. Like she knows all about this stuff. She's here because she's like, I'm gonna get this done. And Beth is like, oh my gosh, I'm like finding all this new stuff, and this is really cool. But Nancy's already heard a lot of this stuff from different times over the years and different pieces. But she keeps using it because she knows that it works, right? But then Beth has only been here for a little while, and Jenny's new. So do you see how I'm looking at that? How you guys are all in like different spots? But this is my same message. This is what I always talk about because our clients need to know that we are consistent, that we have a message that does not change. While we may adjust the bits and pieces, right? I've adjusted the demographics on the social media. I've adjusted other pieces like that. I've adjusted some of the things I tell people to do under the research section. Those things are, tactics, right? They're technical. But the core message, the main message, the 5-week challenge, the 3-week challenge, whatever that is, that's going to be your core. I can tell you that for the first 10 years of my business, I know that sounds like a long time. It should not take you that long. But for the first 10 years of my business, I didn't have my thing. I did this stuff for myself, but I didn't even see it as a thing other people could use. And when I actually built this system 4 years ago, that's when I realized this was my thing. And ever since, I've stuck to this message. Do I adjust it? Do I tweak it? Does it morph and grow a little? Yes. But it was like my business from 0 to 10 was like a child where it's growing and changing a lot. And then when you get to like 10, when I got to that 10-year mark, which for me it was different because I had like multiple businesses and all kinds of stuff. But once I got to that point, and I found this system that I could actually create from all the stuff I knew already. Like it was all up here. I already knew it. I already knew I had the ability to do this. I already knew it worked. That once I decided to make it the system, everything I do now goes through this system. If it doesn't align with this system, it's out. And me being consistent like that for the last 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, has actually shown me that that's what clients attract to. Yeah, I've had clients that I've had for 10 plus years. They came around with me back in the day and they've been around forever. But they've seen me grow into something now that they're like, she says the same thing all the time. They know how to market me. They know how to promote me. They know how to talk about me now. But they also know that if they need something or a colleague of theirs needs something, they know exactly what the message will be. Tactics change, tweaks change, things like that. Technology changes, but the main message is the same. And so once we have that core message, even if we decide next year that the core message is different, if we can focus on a core message, then the social media gets so much easier. I knew this was going to happen. It's too dry here. All right. So images are amazing. You have to make sure you use the right images. I recommend deposit photos. You can actually get on, AppSumo. You can get a $40. They usually have it towards the end of the year, so like right about now. And I have a link. If you go to the membership, there's a link to it. Go to the membership and go to the Pro Toolkit under AppSumo, it's like one of the first ones, you can go there and then go to the deposit photos section, and that will actually give you like a $50, you pay $50 and you get like 100 credits for deposit photos. That's if you need something really specific. If you're looking for like medical stuff or like specific ethnicities in photos, if you're like going to be really picky about your photos, which some people are, and that's perfectly fine. And you're not doing more businessy stuff, if that makes sense. Like, with phones and computers and like hipsters, then you need deposit photos. If you're going to do the businessy stuff, phones, computers, desks, hipsters, that kind of thing, then you can use Unsplash. That's also listed, I believe, in my links and my Pro Toolkit as well. And that's free, which is awesome. So this is an Unsplash photo. But this is like using the right photo can really help people to focus down on your brand and actually understand who you are and what you're doing with just a photo. But if we actually go back here, I'm going to show you what I mean about photos. What brand does this remind you of? Anything? Does it remind you of a brand? Like a big brand? I see typing.
Like
Pier
IKEA.
1, okay. IKEA, okay, that's another one, yeah. Jenny, any guesses?
I would have said Pottery Barn. But
Okay. This is who most people actually come up with. Usually I would do like a big crowd, but hold on, this is who most people come up with. Joanna Gaines.
Magnolia.
Now, if I go back, you're looking at her official photography, right? This is her official stuff. Let me go back. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Do you see how the brand comes through in this random crazy stock photo that just because it's like palettes and whitewashed wood and wood color and wrought iron and stuff like that, right? So we can use stock photos that emulate our brand that are not actually our brand.
Okay.
So it's a great way to, when you're looking at these photos, don't just pick one because it looks cool or whatever, or you think it looks great. Pick it because it goes with your brand and it makes sense for your brand. All right. You guys already have that. All right, let me see here. All right, so now we're going to do a week, a month, a year of posts. Already. So I usually like to start with a spreadsheet. So I'm going to pull this up so you can see my current spreadsheet. I don't know if it's, let's do this. I don't know if it's sharing it. I don't think it is. Let me see what other slides I have on here. Oh, okay, it's just Q&A. Okay. So I usually sit this first. So like write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like write all the days down that you want to post. And then when you think about this, you might want to do every day. You might want to do every other day. Some of my clients do 2 to 3 times a week, which is enough. But every day is going to give you the most coverage, that you could possibly get. So just write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then if you want to do Saturday, Sunday together, like just do one of the days or do them separately. It's up to you. So just make sure you have space to write for each one. And I'm going to switch to this other screen. So hold on one second. So this, let me try this. There we go. This is my current list right now. It's not finished. Still working on it because I haven't sat down for a whole day to do it yet. But this is what it looks like. So I like to put the day, and if you do it in a spreadsheet, this will actually, if you put this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in or whatever, and then you highlight it, you can actually have it repeat for you. using this little square dot right here in the corner of the word Sunday. I don't have my little yellow thing anymore. But you can use that little square dot there next to Sunday, and that will actually repeat all of that down. You can just pull that down and it'll repeat all this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. The date is the same, so you can type in your date, and then you type in like 2 dates, like the days you're going to use, like Monday and Tuesday, and then you can use the square, like hold these down like this, so you highlight both of them, and then use the little square in the corner. Then you drag it down. It will make all the days until you stop dragging. Okay, so it's a really quick way to like populate the dates for yourself. I like to do date, so I know like Monday, Tuesday, what I'm doing here. And then I like to do post content. So this is what we're writing for each of the posts. If I have an image, also, by the way, the links I'm using are in my post content. I'm putting them right inside, right with it. So I'm not separating them. I'm not putting them in a separate column. They're going right in with the content. The image link is if I have a specific link that I'm going to be using for an image. So I have my executive assistant working on this as well. So if I create some images in Canva and I save them, I can actually put them in my Google Drive, and then each of them will have an image link. And I could say, oh yeah, use this specific image, this specific headshot, whatever I want for each of these. And I could put it, a link right in here in this box. And it would link for the 5-week challenge. So it might say, okay, starting off the 5-week challenge, it's the branding image. So there's a specific image in Google Drive for branding for the 5-week challenge, and I can put it right here. The account ID is something that I use for my scheduler. So you won't have to worry about that, but I am going to show you my scheduler, but I wanted to at least show you this to kind of give you an idea of how it's laid out. Day, date, and then the post content is right next to it. And then if I have a specific link or a specific image I want to use, I might even just write it in here like branding day or branding 5-week challenge image, so then I'll know, okay, that's the image I'm going to put there. Now, this branding right here, answer the following, then there's 3 questions. I'm going to find on this sheet, I don't think she's done too many of them. So we started again here in February. So we repeat this. And it's the same thing again. And we're going to repeat it again and again and again, all the way down here. So what we can do is we can just take these 2 right here, highlight them, copy them, and then come down here and say, okay, 5 Mondays from now, or 6 Mondays from now, right? Because we're going to start at 6 Mondays from now. Then this says week 2, things like that. So you can kind of repeat them and just paste them in again and again and again. And we've got a couple of that here. She's got a couple of these that are like pasted down here. Oh, this one is jam out this Friday, use this playlist. And then I think down here we have the playlist again, or it was up here somewhere. Here it is again, recent playlist. And we just repeat that every few weeks. We just throw that in. It's something that not everybody's going to see. It's something that not everybody's going to click on, but it's the playlist I use like 90% of the time for when I'm working. So, and if it changes, I'll just have her swap out the link or whatever. So anyway, you can repeat things when you're using a grid like this, when you're using like a Sheets or like, Excel or something. Makes it really easy to see everything at one glance and how you can actually repeat all of it. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and go out of this one here. Oh, it switched over. Okay. I'm going to show you. See, we are just at the end of the year, so we're finishing up mine. So it's like half done right now. All right. Well, let's log in here. This is the one I use. This is in the Pro Toolkit. If you go to the Pro Toolkit through the membership, you can actually find this link. It's Social Pilot. And this is the system that I use. It's really, really good. It's about $25 a month. And to me, that's worth it. You know, I don't want to sit here all the time and worry about all these different platforms. And you can see here, my husband did all of his for most of next year, or part of next year. I've only done this many so far, queued up, but he's got a bunch of his in, and I might take you over there to kind of check this out since there's more of them. So what happens is you can go to posts in this system and you can create a post. You can also look at a calendar. This is my favorite. A lot of systems now have this, so if you're using a different one, you know, they'll probably have this as well. But this calendar, look at that. Isn't that neat? It's just all filled in for you. And he can see if he's missing a day, right? Or if he has 2 on one day and he doesn't need that or whatever. Let's go down here, see where he's missing some days. Oh, there we go. So we've gotten him all the way to here, and he's missing 20th of April, 27th of April, 29th of April. So he's going to know that he can just fill these in, right? And he could just go back to his spreadsheet and then come over here and fill them in. You can click on a day here, and it pops this up, so I can actually create a post just for that day and then choose what social platform it goes on and then schedule it. And it will actually schedule for the day that I clicked on. And I just put a time in, so a time, you know, time frame for it. The other thing this does is if you're using this the spreadsheet and you're using the links for images, which I mentioned before, you can bulk schedule. So I can actually upload my spreadsheet into here, and that's where that account ID comes in handy. The account ID, this is where you would actually say, oh, the account ID for Facebook in my system here. This is my account ID for Facebook. And if I want that post to go on Facebook, I'll put the account ID in here. And then when I upload it to Social Pilot, if I wanted to do a bulk schedule, it would all upload by itself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Bulk uploading is really, really tricky. But if you do it one by one even, having the spreadsheet, copy, paste, you know, when you put your new post, paste in your text. If your link pops up, I'll show you one for example. Let's use this one. This will be an example one. It's got a link in it already. I'm gonna put it in there, hit the space bar, look at that. I've already got that in. Like all the picture comes up, everything. And then I can choose which social platforms I want to put it on. And then I can click to schedule it. If I add it to the queue, it just goes into the next day or the next time slot available. I don't usually like to do that. I just like to schedule it. And then I can choose a day and time. And I can repeat it multiple times if I wanted. And different days and different times.
Sorry. If you do the bulk upload, do you put like multiple IDs? Like say you want it to go to Facebook and Instagram. Would you put both of those IDs?
You'd have to
like
repeat it.
Or you'd have to repeat
You'd have
it.
to duplicate the line, yeah.
Okay.
So you would put this line in, then you duplicate it, and you could like insert it, you know, where it's double.
Okay.
And it would be the same date and same time if you wanted. If you're putting it out the same date and time, then the only thing that's different would be the ID.
Okay.
But you need to have the image link. So for Instagram, it's going to be different. The only thing, the other piece that would be different here, let's say I was going to post the, excuse me, the playlist. I would need to have an image for this, and the link would not be able to be in there because it's not going to do anything if it was going to Instagram. So that's one thing that you could, you know, change up for that. And would have to have an image. The thing I like about Social Pilot is if I have a link, I don't need an image. The image will pull from whatever the link is. Even if I put my own link in here, I'm going to take this out and put my own link in. It's going to pull an image. It's going to give me options too. If I want to pull a different image. And these are all from my been featured on section. So none of them are me. Oh, wait, here's some me. There we go. There's another one. I could use that. I could use this. I could use this. I can use any of these images that come with this link, if that makes sense. I could also upload a separate image. That's what the little camera is for. I could actually pull something directly from my Canva. I can just click that, and it says Design in Canva. And I could go to my folders and go to my designs, and I actually have some Instagram stuff here. And I could say, put that out. Like that's one I already did, or whatever. I could just say, put that out just for a client. So I could pull it directly from Canva as well. Oh, now it's going to be stuck. Okay. I can upload video link through here, add an image from my computer. I could put a GIF in. I don't have that planned, but I could. I actually like to just download the GIFs and then upload them as media. Makes it easier. This has emojis and then location and audience targeting. I don't usually use those, but I use a little more simply. And then also the good thing about this that I like is the feed content. So let me actually go down here. Oh yeah, content and feed. So loading. Manage feeds. Here we go. These are the feeds I have coming into this. So I have a press page on my website that is like a blog. So every time I add something for press, it sends it out to everyone on my email list. So it's kind of like a blog post. And then it also puts a social post out for me automatically. I do the same thing with my portfolio. I do the same thing with my podcast. And I do the same thing with my blog posts. They all have what's called RSS feeds. And if you can get an RSS feed from anything on your website or from an association that you're a part of that you want to post their information out, you can have it automatically post. If they post something or you post something yourself through one of these options or whatever, it will automatically post. So I'm sure you've seen join our RSS feed and things like that. That is basically how they do that. They just take the RSS feed, the link, and then they put it into their social accounts like this, or they put it into a feed reader. You've probably seen those or heard of those, but I like to use it here because it allows me to automatically post a social post where I don't have to do anything. It just, if I post a blog post, it automatically sends a social post out through here. And then if I do it through email, in my email list, in my email system, then it automatically sends an email as well because it's through RSS. So it's as simple as knowing what the feed link is. Like this is some of the links I've used in the past for clients and stuff. This is mine right here, one of mine for blog posts. That's my RSS feed link. And then I say I like with the image. And then I say I want it to check every day, once a day, if there's anything new. And I want it to just post one at a time. I don't want it to post like 10 things at once. I want it to just post once, one at a time. And then I just want it to post to my social accounts. And then I can give it a nickname like blog post or whatever. And it's a feed. So it's really easy to add that. So if you have anything, so for example, this is my podcast hosting that I use. And the link to this is also in the Pro Toolkit. They actually give you, at the top here, it says copy RSS feed. I can copy that, come over here, add a new feed. I've already done this, but I'll show you. Put it in, image, check once a day, post one at a time, blah, 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 done. And I can say, it's my podcast. So this is really, really simple way of getting a lot of posts. And you don't really have to do that much. All right. So how many of you already have a social scheduler that you want to use? Do you already have a scheduler? Okay, Nancy, you already have one. Okay. I would say do a little research on it. You can use Social Pilot if you want. If you're going to be heavy into Instagram, you can use Planoly, but that's only Instagram. If you're going to be heavy into Instagram, but also want to use Facebook and LinkedIn, I think it's LinkedIn. No, Facebook and what's the other one? I use this one a lot too. for a couple of clients is later. Oh yeah, Facebook and Pinterest. That's the other one. So they focus on, let's see. Trying to remember where their thing is. It says, I think it's just up here. So they have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. If some of these are going to be your only platforms, like you're just going to do Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, then I would say like use Later because it's really, really easy to use. It's a really great scheduler. If you're thinking about using LinkedIn, I would actually use Social Pilot, and maybe Instagram's not going to be as high up on your list. I would use Social Pilot. And then if you're thinking about using just Instagram and mainly, and that's kind of like your only thing, and you might post on the others occasionally, then you could use like Planoly or something like that. But I actually think that this is probably the most comprehensive, but if you're going to add Instagram in, then you might want to use Later. You just won't have LinkedIn option there.
So Elizabeth, the question. So for Facebook, would you recommend posting both your Facebook profile as well as your Facebook group? Or how do you differentiate between the two?
So you can actually schedule to your group here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to have a group listed in here, you could. If I do accounts, and I say connect an account, I can connect a group that I own. I have to own it though.
Right. But you can't sell on your Facebook profile, just on your page.
This
right?
is the page. So this only connects to pages.
Okay.
And this only connects to groups.
So you can't. So you wouldn't be sending it to your profile. Okay.
No.
Oh, that answers
You would
that
want people to go and like your page. That's kind of the idea. Is you would want that. Sometimes if it was something that I knew I had a lot of people in my personal profile that I knew could utilize what I had just posted on my page, because you're going to see it because you're the owner.
Right.
You're going to see almost every post you post that's like automatic. If you see that pop up, I would then take it from my page and hit share and share it to my personal side.
Okay.
That's a kind of trick away around it. But it was kind of if I saw it as I thought of it, it wasn't like a thing where you could just shove it all in there.
Okay.
Like automatically.
Yeah, and I said group, and what I meant was page. So thank you.
Yeah. But groups, if you have a Facebook group and you want some automated posting in there, like maybe every Monday is Ask a Question Monday, or every Thursday is they can go live or whatever. They can go live and sell their services, or they could post in a certain thread about their services or whatever those things are. You know, you've seen those in different groups you're in probably. You could schedule all those if you have your own group.
Okay.
If you're running a group, you can schedule that through here too.
Thank you.
Yeah. They just added TikTok. They also have the Google My Business section in here. This is Social Pilot. The only thing is with Instagram with this is they have the direct publishing through Zapier, which you can do that. But if you're going to use Instagram as an Instagram heavy and you don't need, LinkedIn and Google My Business and things like that, then I would just use Later. Like it's kind of like you just kind of have to do a little research and kind of figure that out, like what's going to work best for you. Because Later does automatic posting to Instagram. So does Planoly, but this one you have to actually, it's like a reminder on your phone, like, hey, do you want to post this? And then you have to do a copy and paste, and it's kind of weird. But it still works. It's just a little bit extra work for that one. So what I would say is if you don't have a scheduler yet, I would just do maybe a 30 minutes to an hour of research on that. Just look at a couple different ones. Like I said, I have a couple listed on my account on my Pro Toolkit. So if you want to look at the ones that are listed there, and then just pick one. Like don't put too much into it. Just like weigh the pros and cons quickly and just be like, yep, this is a good one. We'll start here. But for now, what we will do is we will work on this right here. And I'm going to show you guys this. I'm actually going to share this with you guys if you want to make a copy of it. And that way you guys will have it. And I'm actually going to just take my 2 columns here. Oh, I don't have, there you are.
So you're going to send us the day and the date as well?
Yeah, I'm going to send you this whole thing here.
Thank you.
And just share it with you guys. And you just, what you want to do when you go in here is you want to make a copy, right? So
now I noticed you also have a time in there.
yeah, I like to put the times in. You don't have to use the time. This is if you're doing the bulk upload. So when you go up here, you say file, make a copy. That's how you make a copy for your own, like a copy of this for yourself. But this right here, you don't have to use this. This is just in there. If you're going to add them manually to your system, only, from what I remember, only Social Pilot allows bulk uploads. So this is all kind of set up for Social Pilot. But if you don't want to use the time, you can just ignore it. Or you can even change it if you want to, you can come in here and change it, type it in differently. But the account ID and the time are really like a Social Pilot specific thing. And I like to keep the same time for all mine. I don't really, differentiate on that. I just kind of keep it the same. So. Yeah.
And Elizabeth, I remember when we did this a couple of years ago, if we entered them directly in, like the Social Pilot, if you enter it directly in, it'll default to whatever time. You choose the date. You can choose the time, but you can also just accept the time that pops up, which typically is the time that you're entering it. So if I was to enter something now, I can pick January 15th, but it'll say 10:08 a.m.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
And that did work out fine. I didn't have to go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're doing it like midnight, it's okay. They might want to say 9 a.m. They should all be at 9 a.m. But yeah, it'll just allow you to put it in at whatever time. If you're doing it in Social Pilot, it'll kind of choose the time of when you're listing it. Yeah. So the thing that you want to do too is if you want to, I'll make another little sheet here, and if you want to, you can like highlight this and copy it if you want. But if you want to also just do this, like I said, on paper or whatever, we'll just do this really quick. All right, so since there's only 3 of you, I'm going to do this. And we're going to talk about what you can do, some ideas you can do for these different types of posts. Okay, so you guys get a little more custom attention from moi. All right, so we will start with, let me put one more in here. Oh yeah, challenge. Holidays. Okay, so let's talk about, the first one is actually, this is the easiest. Nancy, how many products services, whatever you want to call them, do you have?
3.
Okay. You will be writing 3 sales posts. Make it really easy for you. Beth, how many do you have?
You ask really good questions.
No wrong number.
Let's say also 3.
Okay. You're going to write 3 sales posts. And what you're going to do is write 1 post selling each thing. How many do you have, Jenny?
So I would say 2, although I have some work to do, but I would say 2.
Okay. So you're going to write 1 post about each thing. Now, can each of your 2 things, since you only have 2, can they be broken down and expanded? Does that make sense? So instead of 2, could it be like 4?
Yes.
Okay. So how many would it expand to? 4, 6, 8?
Probably 4.
Okay. So I'm going to say you're going to have 4 posts.
Okay. And some of them aren't developed yet. Like they're up here, but not actually things that I'm selling. But this is why I'm doing this, because I need to get on it.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you sell them,
What
that's
you'll
the
do-
fastest way to grow them.
Then you have to grow it. I know
Right?
that.
You have to build it.
So with your 4, you're going to take each thing that you do, or take the 2 things, break them into 2 each, and focus on. You're not writing a dissertation here, guys, right? You're writing short. Hey, do you have this problem? We can solve that with this new thing we're doing, or with this thing we have, right? Think about a question your person has for these sales posts. It could be a question they have. It could be a pain point. It could be, see what else. It could be like a life change, right? Something that's happened. It's like a catalyst. Maybe it's I'll say a catalyst, and this could be like, did you just, something. And I know like having a baby is like a life change, but did you just renew your workers' comp? Guess what? I'm the next person you talk to. You're going to talk to me about XYZ, right? So are you in the process of doing your open enrollment for healthcare? Guess what we offer? This, and this. Do you see how that's kind of like finding a spot where they are? Like, I heard this a while back, and I thought it was really interesting. Who is before you in business? Like, who has your client before you, and who has your client after you? And how can we speak to both of those things? And I'll also put this one here. It's before you do X, do this. And then that's the thing you offer. Right?
Are
So,
you going to share this video recording with us by chance?
yes, I will.
Okay, good. Because I'm taking notes, but I'm sure I'm missing stuff.
Yes, you're good. And you can copy this whole thing when we're done filling it in. You can copy this whole thing.
All right, perfect.
And then I want to kind of give this to you as like your template, and then I'm going to set you free on it.
Okay.
But I want to give you like ideas, so you're not just sitting there going, what do I write? What do I write? What do I write? Okay. So before you do X, do this. Meaning, before you buy your homeowner's insurance, you need to talk to me about something first, or whatever, right? Or before you buy that new house, you need to talk to your home stager. Before you sell your house, talk to your home stager. Like, whatever, right? Figure out what your thing is. Mm-hmm. Who has your client after you? Who has your client before you? And how can you talk to both ends of that by saying, hey, you just did this, come see me. Or wait, before you do that, don't do anything else. You have to talk to me first. Okay. FAQs. Nancy, do you have FAQs on your website?
No.
Okay. So you're going to write 5 FAQs.
Okay.
And you're just going to think of like the 5 questions you get every day. Because we don't get 5 questions every day. It's the same thing. It's the same stuff. And it can be the simplest, and I'm going to say this, you might think it's the stupidest thing.
No.
Like,
okay, I got it.
Do you take insurance? Like, of course we do. Of course we don't. Right? Like, whatever the answer is, or is this covered under, or can I, I don't know. Do you offer, like, whatever, something that you're just like, no, yes, of course, no, never. The answer where you're just like, duh. That's what people are asking. That's what FAQs are for, is the duh answers to you, or not the duh answers to everybody else. Okay. Beth, do you have FAQs? Okay.
Not yet.
You're going to write 5. And you don't have any either? Okay, you're going to write 5. These are ambitious numbers, but this gets you started, right? Because you could put these right onto your website. If you write 5, you have an FAQ page. 4 is a little skimpy, but 5 is good. Remember, they're short answers. There's silly, stupid questions that we think of as like, well, duh, and a short, quick answer that explains it, but you don't have to go again into a dissertation. All right. Let's skip challenge for a minute. Let's talk about holidays. All right, put that in there. And then I'll put on here, add to your website as an FAQ page. Okay. So we're fixing your website also. All right, so holidays. We're going to do major federal, right? We can do some major federal. These are listed all over the internet. You know, I think I actually have, let's see here. This is a pretty good one. I've used this one before. Yeah, these are some of the main ones. So we're going to just keep this simple. Once you get a little more advanced and you've done this a couple times, you can get into some of the more fun, silly holidays, or if you know Administrative Professionals Day is like one of your days, or if you want to get into, let's see, Jenny, you're in medical as well, or like medical field.
Yeah, I actually did this a while ago and went through like all the silly one-offs just to like put more content in a calendar so that I'd have some feed. I didn't do anything more with it, but I started the planning. So
okay, awesome. Yeah, there's like health holidays, right? So I'm just going to put this one in here as well. I'm sorry, Nancy, for us business people, there's not a lot of good ones.
No, that's okay.
But I'll put the health holidays in there, and then this is just the main regular holidays. So you guys can pull from that. I do recommend having a photo or a picture. And in the membership, you can download all of my holiday images that I posted a while back. I also have vacation images. So if you're going to be on vacation, there's like, we'll be right back. Like, you know, you can post those if you want. So there's those in there. You can cheat with those if you want. You can also just post a photo. So if you like have a post you write Happy New Year, and you know, we're excited about 2021, whatever, and then you post a picture of fireworks, like that's great. You know, you can just go on Unsplash and type in fireworks or whatever. You could probably even type in Happy New Year. And they probably have like the hat or the, you know, the little noisemakers, and yeah, there's like Scrabble pieces. That's a cute one. Like you could just post one of those, like literally. You don't have to make it super fancy. I actually really like this one a lot. So things like that. You can find something really quick. And the other thing with this is if you right click on this picture and you copy the image address, this is a little secret. You can't see it, I'm sorry, but if you right click on it, if you go to an image on Unsplash and you right click, it says copy image address. It doesn't show up on this stupid screen thing. But I just did the copy. I'm going to paste it in our document over here. There it is. I'm going to go back to the sheet, and then under image link, I can paste it in. That is the link to that photo. And if I put that in Social Pilot, let's say it's part of my post, right? I've got it in there, and part of my post is this link. Let me do this here. Hold on. Add media. Share link, right? Let's see if it'll do it. It's thinking about it. Social Pilot will basically download it. And it might take forever, but it'll actually post it with that. So there it is. Happy New Year. And then I can just put that in. And I don't have to actually download it and then upload it, and I'm doing all this extra back and forth. I can just copy that link right from here. It's called copy image address. That's the, if you right click on this, once you click it open big, it has to be big like this, copy image address. And that's just from Unsplash because they are free already. And I'm just going to go ahead and schedule this because I don't think I have one up there yet. And 10:18 sounds good. Ta-da! Now if I go to post and I go to calendar, I can see that there's Happy New Year. That's from his. That's from his. Yeah, these are all from him. So that was mine. It says Happy New Year. So that was easy. Now that post is done, like for January 1st or whatever. So don't think you have to be like so crazy about the pictures and stuff. You don't have to. You can like so you can cheat and use mine. You can just pull them from wherever. But usually you can find something pretty easily. And even if I come in here and I said St. Patrick's Day, there's a dog with a green bow tie. There's a 4-leaf clover. Like, you've got a lot of options here. There's just some green icing. That just looks good. So you've got a lot of things that you can be more abstract with it. You don't have to be so literal. There's a guy with bagpipes. There's golden eggs. Let's see what else we got. There's just some ivy. That just looks cool, like green. I don't know. Looks nice. So you can be more abstract. You don't have to be so. Hey, look, there's St. Patrick himself right there. You don't have to always be so literal or like so cheesy with it. It doesn't have to be cheesy. Okay. I'm going to close that. All right, let's go back here. We'll say use Unsplash photos, and we'll say right click, copy image address to use as image link. Okay. And then, excuse me, let's talk about your days of the week. So anybody have days of the week that they would like to kind of claim for a certain thing or a certain topic?
So this is, I guess, part of my brainstorming and where I'm going, but I'm going to be adding a parent. So I do a lot of pediatric stuff right now. I'm going to be adding a mom program later this year. So I'm going to do Mom Mondays to start ramping that up probably mid-year when I'm ready to start rolling it out. But that was an idea. Welcome your feedback.
Yeah, I like that. So what do you want to call it? Mom Monday?
I'm going to call it Mom Monday or something like that.
Is it gonna? What kind of content is it gonna be?
So self-care for mom, focusing on herself.
I would just mean like make Mom's Monday or something like that.
Okay.
Like make my day kind of thing,
Okay.
All right. That's a good one. I like that one. What else? Anybody else have a day they want to claim?
Mine's going to be Get Moving Monday.
Okay.
Beth, can I ask what you do?
I'm a dietitian,
Okay.
and basically our company started with a focus on CKD education, so
Okay.
chronic kidney disease education. We're 4 dietitians who have worked in dialysis for a really long time, so now getting into private practice and trying to help people avoid dialysis.
Awesome.
In the course of the last couple months, we lost a bunch of dietitians at work, so I am completely drowning in my full-time job. And so my side hustle's gone completely by the wayside. So this is me getting back to my side hustle today to make it my primary hustle.
Good for you. Me too.
So yeah, Jenny, tell us what you do, and that way we can also maybe brainstorm a little bit, and then I'll have Nancy go.
Sure. Thank you. So I am a physical therapist, and I full-time train pediatric physical therapists who want to specialize in pediatrics. I run a residency program. And then my side hustle has been for years doing a private practice treating early intervention. So young babies who are at risk for disability, but I'm branching out more into wellness and holistic health. So focusing on kids and just child development in general. And then I want to add mom into that. And it's taken me a while to kind of hone that in and figure out where I'm going, because that's kind of coming back to doing what I'm good at and what I'm known for. So that's where I'm at.
That is awesome.
Wow.
So Nancy, your turn.
Yeah, mine's totally different. So I'm a career coach for mid-career women. So
Okay.
women between the ages of 35 to 52 or so that aren't quite satisfied in their job, either to make their current job. How can they make their current job better, or how do they decide to leave to look for another job? So yeah.
Sounds like we could all use each other.
So I
That's
was
awesome.
knowing we were going into this, Elizabeth. I doodled with it a little bit. I didn't come up, but I kind of flipped it. Like I have for Tuesday career tips on Tuesday. So career tips.
Awesome.
And for Thursday, I have thought for Thursday, and that would be like expert blogs or my own blog. And for Friday, I have Funny Fridays, which would be memes having to do with the workplace.
I like
I
that.
like it. Yeah, that's good.
I haven't come up with
you-
Monday or Wednesday yet.
Do you, Nancy, do you help people like connect them with jobs? Like if you hear about jobs or if you see them on LinkedIn or anything like that, like if they're looking for something different?
No, I mean, if I come across something, yes, I typically will find on LinkedIn groups for them to join within their industry. So it's sort of like what you're helping us do. So we don't have to go and search for it ourselves. I'm like, I can really fast just go in and find what it is that they should be doing, and they may not even have thought to do it. So I'll just say,
Well,
here's
I think you should post like, have like 10 or so that are like pretty solid and pretty good ones for different industries. And I would put that as like your Monday, like a Monday action type thing where you're like, hey, if you're in this industry, you should join this group on LinkedIn.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And you just repeat them. Just use your same 10 and repeat them. And if they change, or that's what I'm saying, kind of pick the solid ones are going to last,
Right.
like that you like, oh yeah, this is an association or whatever. They're going to be around for a while, that kind of thing. But I think that would work out really well.
Nancy, I feel like you could do and I don't know if you'd want to do this every week, but I feel like you could almost do like a pain point of like, oh, Monday's coming again because you hate your job, like you're motivated.
Right.
So whether that's Sunday or Monday, I totally think you could.
Oh yeah, Sunday. That would be a good one.
Emotional piece of that too.
Thank you. That's a great idea.
Thinking.
Mm-hmm. Right? Because I get that way Sunday. It's like, oh.
It's not uncommon that people get depressed on Sunday night, and they give up some of their Sunday because they're already
worried about Monday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they have this anxiety about Monday, and Monday's not even here yet. Yeah.
Right.
I would do like a pain point question or something, and then like an encouragement. Like you can change this, or you can, here's something you can do, or here's an exercise, or here's something to think about, or things like that. I think this one is.
I like
you can
that.
Repeat this. Make a few and make it repeatable.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 50, right? You don't need 52 of them. This I think you could do 27 or 52. That's up to you. Whoops. And then this one, I think you do 52 because you're going to have different things happening all the time with that.
Right. Career tips, I can do the 52.
I think you can do like 10 groups maybe and just repeat them.
Mm-hmm.
5 times a year, you give them a shout, give them a little boost there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think, Beth? What do you think about after seeing some of these options?
I think it's easier to do this for Nancy.
Now Nancy has to help you guys. That's what we're doing for.
Yeah,
and I think actually Nancy for yours.
I love that.
I think
I actually
for Nancy for yours, the 2 Wednesday and Saturday, I think you just don't worry about. For Nancy.
Okay.
I was gonna say just leave them blank. That's why I want to give you guys the option to like don't have to fill in every single day. Like this is enough. Right? So for Beth, what do you think could be like 4 or 5 more that we can throw in here?
I like the Sunday. I was thinking of like, I need a different word, but like motivation on Sunday.
Okay, like inspirational.
Yep. That'd be good.
Okay.
And then
So wait a minute, I'm sorry, but your client are the dietitians, are other dietitians? No.
Well,
Well,
here's the bottom line. I have to confess, I feel like my brand got absolutely just fricasseed over the past couple months. So I need to circle back around that. I texted my partners yesterday and said, okay, tomorrow's the marketing class. What the hell are we doing in 2021? And nobody had solid answers. I'm like, this is the whole problem. We're never going to get where we're going if we don't know where we're going.
Yeah, you need that focus.
Right. So eventually I would like to put the business toward employing more dietitians. But what I'd like to try to do is get a social media following for the business. And I think what we're going to have to do is focus way more on prevention, because we're just not getting the CKD referrals we thought we would. And no, Elizabeth, we still have not written a book and we still have not been on podcasts. So we have our work cut out for us.
So we're
I
talking prevention then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prevention. And your followers will be dietitians?
Maybe, but
Maybe.
primarily clients, I think.
Okay.
So what's the age range you're looking at?
Anybody with money.
Who's that? Who's at most risk that we
But
could
it's
actually
not
prevent?
many.
Because sometimes
You have to account for the people that are, I don't want to say scared about their health, but you're painting a vision of what could be for them. So they'll
Right.
find the money if it's important to them.
40 to 60, I would say.
Okay. So the moving part, that's going to be like, simple moves that you can do that are fairly like easy. You're not overexerting yourself. It's in the CrossFit, right?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like just take 10 minutes to dance or dance to your 2 favorite songs or, get up and go for a walk, whatever.
Okay.
figure
Awesome.
those out.
The whole chair stretches too. I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
For sure. And
And you got your
self-talking-
inspirational. What was the other
Yep,
one?
I was going to do self-talk Tuesday
Okay.
Ooh.
because the way we talk
About
to
your
ourselves
mindset.
is
Mhm.
horrible. Yes. And then, like maybe a weigh-in Wednesday or something like that, where it's not just the number on the scale, but weighing in on where are you in your path
Okay.
to happiness or health or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I also wanted a fun Friday.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say for this one, you can do 27 or 52. This one is, I say you only need like 5 or 6 of these. I might say 6. Having like the same 6 repeatable ones. Because you don't need to do it like 52 different posts about weighing in, and you need to kind of just ask the same question a few different ways.
Right. And I was thinking for self-talk to do either probably like 24. So 2 a month.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
then
would actually
rotate those.
I would do 27 and just do one every other week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That way it makes it just, every other week, and you've got half, the whole year's done, but you're just repeating them, or you're just spreading them out more. All right. What about you, Jenny? After seeing some of these, what do you think now?
So I was thinking of Fun Friday idea as well, thinking about more like family fitness. So
Okay.
being active as a family over the weekend might be physical, might be mental, but just fun activities for a weekend, something to do.
Okay.
Sunday is sort of a prep for the week. So, what are you, and I don't know what to call that, but it might be, it could be meal. It could be just planning out your week, just being organized so that your week goes smoother.
Okay.
How about start it on Sunday?
What's that?
Start your week on Sunday or something.
Start your week on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. And you can always, because these are just our names too,
Yeah.
But you can put them in your post, or you don't have to. You can always come up with something else, or you don't even have to put a title in your post. You could just put the post itself.
Okay. Another one I want is like developmental tips. So, just is your child on track? Do you have questions about this? So I don't have a catchy name for it, but
On Track Tuesday.
I like it. Thank you.
Yep.
Track Tuesday. Good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. On Sunday, on Track Tuesday. I need at least one more, and I'm just trying to think where I want to go with it.
What are some of your ideas?
guess so. I've got kind of thinking about my two business lines. What I already have existing is sort of like Beth, in that we have paying clients or insurance clients, which don't pay very well at all. And we're branching more into the wellness and self-pay. So I'm thinking more of like
So it's a Wellness Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday, maybe. Yeah. Cause I think
Yeah.
Entrepreneur Tuesday could go either way. Like it's going to be good for our wellness, or for our wellness parents who are like, oh my gosh, is my child okay? And it's going to be good for our referrals for people who say, oh my gosh, my child's not doing that too. They need to be seen for therapy.
Yeah, and I think the wellness too, like you can incorporate, like you said, the whole family. Like you've got mom up here, you've got kids, and then you've got full family down here. You can incorporate that on Wednesday as well, and have it be that natural path, right? Like
Yeah.
you're talking about holistic,
Yep.
going that direction with it, and going a little more crunchy.
More of is figuring out how to put that in here.
Yeah,
so
go a little more crunchy on that day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. I can do that.
All right. So, what do you guys think of this so far?
I like it.
We can do it.
All right. Now I'm gonna do one last thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys roll for a little bit, and you can have whatever breaks you need. You can drinks, bathrooms, food, whatever. Last thing is the challenge. So, have you has anybody done a challenge in their business yet?
I haven't done a challenge, but I do have something I was working on, which is a 5-week program, and I think I can pull the ideas from there.
Okay. So make them really, really simple. Make it like a one task, remember, like that one little nugget, just that little one liner that you could do for five posts and make up 5 weeks, right?
Yes.
Now, you can put this in on one of your blank days.
Okay.
So we could have,
yeah.
And you could repeat it if you wanted. What about you, Jenny? What about you for challenges? Any ideas?
So for me, I actually was thinking too, starting off maybe in like twice a year, doing one for kids and thinking about toys and doing almost like a pre and post holiday clean out. So what do your kids really need? What are they playing with? And how do you simplify their toys, minimalize their toys, and make them productive for their development? And then also doing another one twice a year for mom, focusing on self-care.
Okay. Awesome. How many posts do you think that would be per?
So I had 4 for kids and 5 for mom. Okay. So 9 total, and then repeat it.
All right. So yeah, I would actually do this with, like, I would do the kids one like December.
Okay. I had November and March, partially because I'm thinking I'm really going to launch this in March, which is why I wanted to have like a kind of a cool thing to start with. And then mom, the program specifically for mom, my target is like Q3. So I was thinking like September, back to school. Kids are out of the house, focus on you. And then maybe like a New Year's time frame.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's great. So I think I would put those in, and I would even schedule them even as far as if you wanted to do January 2022. Like,
yeah,
just
I think
like,
I will.
Just like let them in, put them in far out as we can go. Yeah. So that's perfect. That's great. What about you, Beth?
So I was thinking of, I'm torn between, like, I want to do 3 weeks.
Okay.
And basically focusing on changing mindset, exercise, and healthy eating.
Okay.
So like a 3-week, yeah. And definitely do that repeatable. Because for our business, it really feels like more than 3 weeks, and people can't commit to it. You know, so you can do that.
Yeah, and this is going to be like one post per thing.
Right. So do that one, repeat that, and then do, I wanted to do another one really on mindset, because so much is that trying to, the don't let perfection paralyze you sort of thing, which I was going to try to turn into a program at some point.
Okay.
Scrapping excuses, that kind of thing. So I need to wrap my head around that a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think if you make,
Progress.
like with this, like we have here, it says 3 weeks. Mindset, exercise, eating. So when we're writing these, they don't have to be long, right? We're going to say mindset. We're going to say one sentence about mindset. Maybe two. Maybe. Because this is a free thing you're doing, right? This is not something that you're tracking for them. This is not something that you're helping them through. This is just, hey, I'm helping you with this. If you think this is valuable, think about what we could do together, right? So don't labor too much. Do it correctly, right? You want to do it right, but don't labor too much over what needs to go into the 3 weeks for the mindset one. What needs to go into the 3 weeks that's all three pieces together. Just first thing that comes to mind, because it's what you would say to someone if they asked you. How do I get my kid to let go of this toy that it's not helping them, or it's like a baby toy and they cry and scream every time I try and take it away, or they know when it's gone, like what's the answer to that question? And how can I do that? That's one of my concerns about doing this whole thing. And you can help them with that. And because you would tell a mom, like right off the bat, you just be like, boom, here's your answer. And it would take you like 2 seconds to explain it, because you don't want to overwhelm the person, but you want them to get the information that they're going to use at that moment. And it might even be, maybe it's not about the toy. Maybe it's about, it might actually lead to something else,